Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about a Taiwanese snack, but this isn't just any snack. It's got an incredible backstory. We're talking survival, serious kitchen creativity, and maybe one of the best glow-ups in food history.
All right, so to really get this, you got to picture the Taiwanese snack scene. You've got your global superstar, right? That's pearl milk tea, the glamorous, world-famous pop idol. And then you've got sweet potato tempura. Think of it as the quiet but totally powerful neighborhood grandpa. You know the one. He doesn't need all the flash because he's got history, he's got stories, he's got soul.
So where does a story like that even begin? Well, for our snack hero, it doesn't start in some trendy night market. Nope. It starts with a long journey across the sea and a landing right into a pretty tough reality. Okay, so the sweet potato first shows up in Taiwan way back in the late Ming Dynasty, and man, did it love it there. It wasn't picky about the soil, it could take the heat, and it just grew like crazy. Now, you gotta remember, back then, rice was a total luxury. So this humble sweet potato, it became a lifesaver. I mean, literally, it's what kept people fed. But, and this is a big but, being the food of survival came with a heavy price. It got a reputation. It became a symbol of tough times. So, to make it last, farmers would shred the sweet potatoes, dry them out in the sun, and pack them away. What that meant for a lot of families was that the daily meal was, well, it was this watery porridge made from those same dried shreds. Just imagine being a kid, and that's what's for dinner. Every single day. Talk about monotonous. And this is where our hero really hits rock bottom. The connection to poverty was so strong that kids would actually get taunted with this phrase, "That's for the pigs." Just brutal. So it wasn't just about what you were eating anymore. It was a stigma, a mark of hard times that everyone was desperate to leave behind. But, and this is where the story turns, right from that place of hardship, something amazing happens. An act of pure genius, really, and love. We're talking about the kitchen magicians of Taiwan, the moms and the grandmas. They decided it was time for a counterattack. So what was their plan? The challenge was simple enough. How do you take this food of pure survival and make it something people actually get excited about? And the idea they came up with? Absolutely brilliant. They took those exact same sweet potato shreds, mixed them with a little bit of precious flour and sugar, stuff that was hard to come by, and fried them up. And what came out of that hot oil? This incredible, golden, crispy snack. It totally transformed a daily chore into a little moment of pure joy. Okay, now let's hit the fast-forward button to today. After decades of being seen as a relic of the past, our humble hero makes this massive, totally unexpected comeback. So, what happened? Why the big return? Well, you're gonna love this. Science. The very food that people used to look down on is now celebrated as a superfood. Turns out it's packed with fiber, it's got a low glycemic index, all these amazing health benefits. Isn't that wild? The thing people couldn't wait to get away from is now the thing health-conscious people are lining up for. I mean, talk about a complete 180. It's gone from being this painful symbol of poverty to a trendy, nostalgic treat that everybody wants. You see people lining up for it at the night markets, and you can even find it in fancy department stores now. The status shift is just incredible. Let's just call a spade here. This is one of the most successful brand upgrades in the history of food. Seriously, it's just proof of how simply delicious it is and how deep those cultural roots run. The old grandpa snack? Yeah, he's officially cool again. Okay, so for all you foodies listening, I know what you're thinking. How did they get that perfect golden crunch without it being a greasy mess? Come on, let's peek behind the curtain. All right, here are the secrets, passed down from grandma to grandma. First up, the shreds. You don't want them too thin. Keep them coarse, that's what gives you that satisfying bite. Secret number 2, ice water in the batter. Sounds simple, right? But it makes all the difference for an extra crispy finish. And finally, the master move. Right at the end, for the last 10 seconds or so, crank the heat up high. That blast of heat actually pushes the oil out, so it stays crispy and not greasy even after it's cooled down a bit. Genius. So you can see this is about so much more than just a yummy fried snack. When you really look at it, the story of sweet potato tempura, it's kind of the story of Taiwan. It's a story all about resilience, isn't it? It's about taking something so basic, something born out of tough times, and using pure ingenuity and spirit to turn it into something special, something treasured. It's about surviving, sure, but then it's about adapting and finally thriving. It's about turning that bitterness of hardship into something genuinely sweet.
So, really, the next time you get a chance to eat one of these, remember that you're not just tasting a snack, you're tasting history. And it kind of makes you wonder, right? What about your own comfort foods? The stuff your grandma made or the dish your family always has? What stories are hiding in there?